This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Leo and Leo Rising, welcome to your horoscope for the full moon in Aries, happening on October the 10th at 7:55 a.m. on the Monday, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. So to experience that beautiful, rich lunar light, to spellcast, etc., have a little moment on the Sunday, the night before. That would be a really great time to release some of this residual energy that we need to let go of. Remember that Aries is all about forward movement. Aries is about direction and confidence. So this is the energy that we really need to harness for this lunation. There's some real positivity in the sky and there's a real hope for purpose. There's a real guide that you can follow for this one. For you, Aries rules the 9th house, which is all about travel, mind expansion, publishing, spirituality, and higher lessons. So in that way, I think that and just thinking about the different readings that we've had and the journey that we've been on together for this last couple of months, these last maybe 6 months nearly, maybe longer, can't remember. There is a real moment that's available to you at this Aries full moon, Leo. I want you to let go of regrets and I want you to let go of miscommunication. I think that I can really sense that there is definitely a lot of fire that you've been activating. There's been a lot of spell work that you've been doing. There's been a lot of passion that you've been trying to achieve with your magic. You've been trying to start something here. I can see you here as the 10 of Wands quite clearly, that moment of exhaustion, almost like I'm building a pyre for myself because I've got nothing left to give. I've been giving and giving and giving and giving, and I'm not sure where to go next. I'm not sure if all of this has been in vain. A full moon in the 9th house is also, it's a great kind of like, it's a release for the moment of that student position that you might consider yourself as. It's also a release of the teacher. It's kind of like, this is what I know to this point in Aries fashion, being direct, being confident, and letting it go to that moon, letting it go, letting it out there. Your life's work is being written as the days go by. There's no ending to this project. There's no ending to this process. I think what I can see here is that there's definitely a reconciliation that is going to embolden you. There's a coming together of minds and hearts that allows you a bit of space away from the flame, a bit of space away from that passion and that leader. Because it's almost as if you're so far ahead that you've lost track of. There's a disconnect that I can sense with yourself and with your emotional self. Your identity, your sort of position as the leader, as the leading of the charge, the front pinball of that pinball formation. There's folks behind you that are ready to support you. They're ready to let you take a rest and I feel that you're in really great company, because there's a King of Cups energy here, which is someone who is really emotionally articulate, that has a great access to perhaps the deeper feelings, the emotions that move us, good and bad. It might be a really great reunion. It might be a coming together after a time away that has you feeling energized, has you feeling revitalized and ready to take on the next frontier, to take on the next movement. I don't see you slowing down in a lot. Yeah, I don't see you slowing down at all, really, here, Leo. I think there's still a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of forward movement that is continually showing up. But I am conscious of how much fuel you've got left. I really feel that you might be lacking a little bit in petrol to get you over the next hump, to get you through the next loop. There's a great celebration that's coming your way, and there's a great recognition from the universe that you've been doing so well, and that your fixity on your expression, your fixity on your intent to move ahead is really being regarded in a really, really positive light. However, and it might be great to take a little rest stop at this full moon. It might be great to take a breather and to look around and to see what connector points you can find that can aid your emotional self, that can aid your feelings. You got to tell some people how you feel. I mean, I think that you do tell people how you feel all the time in the work that you do. That's what I can see. Like, there is definitely like a passion and a zeal and an invigoration that's here. Think about ninth and publishing and all that kind of stuff. There's a fearless leader energy that I get at this full moon, and it might be a really great time to let some of that go. Just for the moment, just for that moon. If you can't afford it in any other way, just at this full moon, at this lunation, take off your fearless leader hat and allow this King of Cups energy, allow this emotional flow in conversation to come through. If folks are asking you how you're feeling and you trust them, you can tell them, because it's not been easy, and you've been feeling energized and activated to keep moving, to keep going forward, to keep expressing, to keep contributing, to keep making. But I've got my eye on this 10 of Wands, and I don't want you to run out of petrol. I don't want you to run out of fuel. Don't build a pyre with all of that fuel. Don't gather it and collect it to set yourself on fire. Because we need you here, Leo. We need you on this plane. It's a great message of like temperance that I'm getting. The temperance card isn't here, but I'm thinking that because this full moon is in a conjunction with Chiron, there's a lot to be learned about the skill that you have to heal the wounds of others, but maybe the investigation that might be good for you, Leo, to allow other folks to aid in the healing of your wounds. This is a really sacred moon. It's the activation point. It's the starting point for a lot of new projects, a lot of new ways of being, a lot of reconnection. And it would be really nice for you to reconnect with others in a little bit of vulnerability. I know it's a fire moon. I know you're a fire sign. I know that there's a lot of passion attached to this too. But I see Chiron here quite clearly. I see that wounded healer. I see that drudgery of continually trying to salve your own wounds while having 10 hands all at the same time taking care of everybody else's wounds. This moon might be a real option. It might highlight for you the access point, or like the area where you can find a bit of healing, a bit of soul healing from somebody else. This Three of Cups here is a reunion. It's a reconciliation. So perhaps in this trifecta, in this group of three, there might be access for the two to support you for a time. I hope that you're not working on the full moon. If you are, that's all right. But I like around this time, this as a symbol, as an emblem, as a possibility, I would really take this as a moment to be still and to be truthful and to be vulnerable. That's what I see here for you, Leo. Because, you know, there's so much more to be activated. There's so much more to be moved around and moved through and moved with and on. You know, this is a busy time for you. That 10 of Wands is really showing me that. And the world is telling me, like, congratulations. Holy shit. All of that fixed energy too. I'm reminded of the eclipses that will be coming up soon enough. This is the lunation before eclipse season. So in that way, I think that this is a great lunation to be really vulnerable and to be really available to release, to allow some of that fire and some of that water to meld and to boil and to let it go safely in company that you can trust. That's what I really see here for you, Leo. There's a couple of different aspects that we could talk about. I think definitely there's a nice relationship between your talents and your self-worth. And the messages that are going to you're learning. Mercury is gestation direct. And so these last 3 weeks perhaps have been a bit of a moment to go over. Perhaps there's been opportunities or there's been different ideas that you've had about your material access that happens. And it's needed a little bit of time to simmer. But you've got the ideas, and that's going to inform your throat chakra. That's going to inform your communication style very soon. So I see a lot of work, and I see a lot of passion. I see a lot of creativity, a lot of art making, a lot of expression. What I see also is a real need for some emotional healing, for some sister time, some time to come together with people that really care about you and just would love just to hear how you've been doing, and some time for sharing and some time for hiding. Maybe hiding is the wrong word, but I think retreat is a nice word. Yeah. The eclipses are going to bring around this tryst between your most public self and between your privacy, your idea of home and roots and stability. That space, your home environment, is really going to be activated by these eclipses. There's going to be something karmically destined for you that has to do with your idea of a home, your idea of your ancestry, your idea of your roots. So this full moon might be a great precursor to some of that more vulnerable investigation, especially if we think that the eclipses are out of our control. This might be gently predictive that it might be time to, as activated and as busy as you are, it might be a good time to reconnect emotionally and to allow some kindness in. You don't always have to rely on the kindness of strangers, Leo. You can sometimes rely on the kindness of your sisters. Yeah, that's the reading. Much love to you. If you'd like your birth chart read, you can always head over to buymeacoffee. No, wait, what am I saying? Head to umaruby.com. and I can read your birth chart there. There's a couple of different options. I do find that the spirit reading holds many great clues between reconciling our sun sign and our moon sign and helping those two to perhaps visit the potential of our soul's purpose. There's a whole bunch of activation in this room now, very many distractions. So I think I'll leave it there, and I'll be speaking to you in 2 weeks, as I said, for the solar eclipse in Scorpio. Until then, Leo, you take care and take a moment amidst the mania to emotionally connect with those you care about. Bye.